If you had the choice to live in town either a block away from this or next to the freeway like this, what would you choose? If everything else were equal, especially price, it would be an easy choice. But it's never that simple. Today we'll be exploring all of the buyer questions with my new listing here and Nuuanu as the focal point to help you buy. If you're thinking of selling like this client, stay until the end to learn my system. Nuuanu is known for two reasons. First, its close proximity to town, as it's located along the Pali Highway and only a 5-minute drive to downtown. And number two, its lush vegetation, as it's located in a valley that receives quite a bit of rainfall and a nice escape from the city. Cool breezes and peaceful tranquility are the positives of this neighborhood. Now, for those that live here on island, you probably know Nuuanu more for the homes, but there are a number of condos as well. The majority of Nuuanu condos were built on the corner of Nuuanu Ave and Judge Street. Developed in the 70s and 80s, similar to Makiki and Macaulay, these condos are very similar in style, feel, and type. But did you know that prices are slightly lower here, about 5% on average, as it lacks a town proximity premium? Every buyer like yourself has an idea of what they want to buy. They also have an idea of how much they want to pay monthly. That's usually where the process starts, and it doesn't get much further than that. What if I broke down your list to give you the cost of each idea, like close to town, or spacious over 800 square feet, or has a second bathroom, or has gated parking, or has low maintenance, like when you order a burger? How would that change your search? Because that's it. There's a cost for everything, and a discount like this might be worth it to you, whether it's being able to afford a larger condo or having extra money in your pocket every month. Now, if you're enjoying this content, please like this video and subscribe to enjoy more. The problem is that there's less condos in Nuuanu, and thus the total available inventory is always smaller, even in a market like this. Check out this video for an in-depth explanation, but in short, we've been in a sideways chop the last 3 years due to high interest rates. You would think that buyers can find anything and get a discount anywhere. But it doesn't quite work like that, because sellers don't sell in this market for under what they believe to be a fair price unless they're forced to. And if they can, they'll just find an alternative like renting. If you don't believe me, just put yourself in the seller's shoes and you'll come to the same conclusion. So even in this soft market, it's still hard to find a good home. I've been searching with a first-time home buyer in this exact range the last 5 months. We've only seen 5 listings since, and the intro being next to the freeway was one of them with a parking stall like this. What I really enjoy about my job is finding gems in smaller buildings I've never been to. There's just not many listings in these buildings, with potentially one every year. So there's a small chance of actually seeing them, and once the listing is gone, it's gone. That's what I believe to be the case here at Eden Gardens too, so let's go over the reasons why we take a look through the unit. With 1,067 interior square feet, this 2-bedroom condo is sized like a 3-bedroom with a large open floor plan that allows the cross breeze to flow through. There's plenty of space for a living room, dining room, and kitchen, along with a walk-in closet near the entry. It's quite easy to imagine how the space would be used and what life could be like. That's the point of staging and why I always do them for listings. It's a waypoint for buyers to imagine life and set those expectations up front. How would you feel looking at photos and the reality is way different? Drop your Tinder stories in the comments below. That's virtual staging in a nutshell, and why, in my opinion, technology can get someone to feel, I want to live here. Because that's the reason a buyer puts in an offer to call this place home. It's fairly rare nowadays for condos to have a den. It's the same square footage as a bedroom without the actual value of a bedroom. Except it does have value. It's not zero and it's not 100%. And especially in this day and age where work from home is common, it's way closer to 100% than zero before COVID. Starter 2-bedroom condos have one thing in common. They're all under 750 square feet and only have one bathroom, assuming you want laundry in unit and an elevator instead of a walk-up. For those of you living in such a situation, it works, but it's not ideal. I mean, why buy a home that just works instead of ideal? Now that difference alone increases your budget from mid 400,000s to high 400,000s if you're looking in town, or about a $50,000 difference. Here's that second bathroom that makes up part of that difference. While 1,000 square feet might seem large, it's not all built equally. What happens if there's long hallways or, dare I say, stairs? Your actual usable square footage is much smaller, even if the number says so. Guys, that's why I use a pillow. The most usable space is the most basic, with no stairs, short hallways, and a super basic layout of bedrooms next to each other in a rectangle or square. And as you're looking through this showing, what do you notice? It's a rectangle. Now, the last thing to think about is that a lot of older condos don't have a real master bedroom. It's certainly not the case here, and it's funny because I had to get more staging items to fill the space. And lucky for whoever buys it, they get maximum breeze on the quietest side of the building. You could see for yourself if you come take a look. The one negative of this unit is that it's on the first floor, and most first floor units are the worst out of the building. You get the worst view and the most foot traffic. But because, as you can see here, there's really no view regardless, and at the back side of a smaller building, so low traffic. I'll also mention that it's pet friendly, so taking your dog on a walk is the most convenient. If you watch any of my A'ali'i videos, I go over the biggest selling point of the building. It's not the 300 square feet for nearly 600,000. It's the amenities, safety, and neighborhood. And while many of my clients buy because of those amenities, I always chuckle to myself how often they never use them. So here's a pro tip for you as a future buyer. If you want low maintenance, you want low amenities. A'ali'i's maintenance is about $1.50 per square foot per month, or a 625 square foot unit is about $940 per month. Now this listing is 88 cents per square foot per month, or for the 1,067 square feet is $943 per month. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy what you want, but everything has a price tag. You do get a little barbecue area outside, and wouldn't you want to just entertain friends in your much larger unit instead of a shared space that closes at 10 p.m.? Here's the other thing about a smaller building. You don't have a lot of traffic in the garage as there's not many cars going in and out, but you do get to keep the gated parking here along with guest parking, along with tons of street parking outside. And across the street is the most secret garden in town, Liliuokalani Botanical Garden. Try say it 10 times if you aren't from here. The reason it's so secret is that no one uses park space on Oahu, especially if there's no beach, benches, or courts attached to it, which is amazing if you live nearby because it's the most peaceful walk you can get very close to town. It's so secret, you don't even have homeless people that live here. I'm kidding, but not really. Now at this point, I'm just trying to fill space so my retention doesn't get killed while I show you this garden. But seriously, come check it out sometime. It's beautiful. Remember in the beginning of the video, I gave a potential list for a condo and the price of it that might interest you. Well, how many boxes does this listing check off? Let's say this listing is the one. How do you price the offer? Similar 2 bedrooms in Makiki and Macaulay are in the upper 400,000 range, while 3 bedrooms are mid 500,000 and up. This is a short glimpse into how I look and approach real estate. If you're a buyer, my information is below to see if we're the right fit, and we'll get started. If you're thinking of selling or haven't had the success you're looking for, here's my basic 3-part system in question format. 1, what does your agent do to get buyers to see your listing? 2, what does your agent do to get buyers fall in love with your listing? And 3, what does your agent do to negotiate it in the best potential offer? The rest is history, just like the last few listings I had here, here, and here. If you want to learn why people buy into a new development like A'ali'i, you'll want to check out this video right there.